Coming in for game number 1 on Demon Island, this time for real. Weapon spawn comes in, and Wes doesn't get it, but he does get the neutral win.
He doesn't get the gauntlets, but he might as well have been playing gauntlets because he squared up immediately, got some damage on.
Oh, and the side air recovery off. What? That would have been a stock. That would have just been it.
Wes, chill, bro.
And now Power Ranger tried to.
Oh
that
my God.
Side sig hits. Wes goes up for the D-Light ground pound. Can't quite get it. Sidelight, D-Light went for the gravity cancel neutral sig. Power Ranger, like, it's not even a last stock game 5 scenario. I feel like that pressure is on Power Ranger already.
And Power Ranger answers right back and gets him with the sig again. So we are going to be looking at a very fast-paced match here. Both of them have revealed that they're not going to wait to pull out their bag of tricks later. They are going to try and snipe stocks right now.
Wes had 3 opportunities for a 0 to death there, and it turned into a Power Ranger win. You know, that's just how Power Ranger's momentum works. It was the same case against Kaina. A lot of times, like, okay, Kaina highlight, and now Power Ranger gets the stock, and it just happened with Wes. Whereas now Wes had to get the cleanup, even up the damage, and bring it to a 2-2 scenario.
Yeah, very close game right now. So, like, I'm loving it. A lot of respect now going out after that first stock, but he goes to follow up, tries to get the nair there. Weapon toss down. Wes, he gets caught by the pogo.
2 bogos,
2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. Count them, keep them going. 5
into a side air. Good. He gets the second side air. Power Ranger.
You are not making this back. You are not making this back. No way.
He doesn't get him. I thought he was going to go for, like, I don't really know what he could have gone for there, but that's an awesome way to punish the landing because that entire stock was beautiful.
That was essentially, in every way we could look at it, that was borderline against 0 to death.
I cannot highlight enough how difficult it is to hit so many spear downers like that. That move you have to be so precise on. I guess you could be like, Demon Island.
I was going to say, I think it helped definitely with Demon Island.
We don't see that every day. That is really insane. Power Ranger converting that into a knockout as well is huge. And now Wes, who had the most insane opener of the day, is behind a whole stock.
Look, if you're going to see crazy stuff with Spear, it's going to be out of South America, man. Like, they just capitalize so well with this weapon. Fiend was someone we expect to see here quite a few times, not even at this point. But Power Ranger continuing to do that, has the gauntlet pressure, going to go for the ground pound. Yeah.
Oh, I thought, maybe. No, there. Okay.
It was coming.
I think the first one got both me and Wes with the ground pound there, but that's what we saw Power Ranger get a really stock against Kaina on in Winners Finals. But Wes, while getting hit by it, is still surviving, and that gravity cancel down sig unarmed takes Power Ranger off the other side of the map. It caught him, and it's to the other side, and still knocked out.
Yeah, that looked like it was at the max distance for where that pixel hit, so that gives Wes an opportunity, because we saw in that previous game, Wes was behind, and then he caught one side air, and it's not going to happen this time, because we're going to see the recovery take him out off the top. It's going to be Power Ranger taking game number 2. One. I forgot because the first one, they didn't actually play it out. It was they reset.
Yeah. Oh, man, that stock over here, weapon throw, 1 down area. We were counting all of these. Each time, Wes tries to mix up his recovery as well, and Power Ranger covers each entire section. Wes chose a different option all 5 times, and all 5 were punished in a different way. Side air catching Wes at the edge there. Huge props to Wes for, despite all of that, still having all the jumps necessary to make it back to center, and even then, sidelight, D-light recovery, Wes off the top, out of there, and much to my surprise, Finn the Human is coming out for Wes in game number 2.
Yeah, this is not something we normally used to seeing. Here to switch up over to Finns. I mean, you still get Axe. Like, the Axe is working really well for him before.
And the Lance, I guess we really didn't see too much of out of game number 1. But to go over to such a low defense legend like this in game 2, well, let's see how it plays out here. Wes just must be testing out the waters with it. If it goes horribly, then maybe we're back to Wancho Man. But so far, a really good start for Wes.
I wonder if it just has something to do with the KO potential. Like, look, I was getting my hits, but he wasn't getting knocked out. So let me just amp it up a bit. Because every time he got his hit, he got enough reward out of it anyway, so maybe the low defense it's more so I want to make sure that he goes down.
Yeah. And those stocks that Power Ranger took weren't exactly defense dependent. Down sig, sending Power Ranger flying, and a lead for Wes first time this set comes out here 3-2. Spear picked up from Power Ranger, though, and the pogos begin. Went for a second one, doesn't quite hit it, and Wes, with the sidelight, drifts off, gets the recovery. Good extra credit coming through here, but there's that Spear ground pound you were talking about.
Yeah, he was holding on to that for quite a while, mostly because he didn't really even need to do it. He just kept going for other stuff, and that gets in your head. And that is the most disrespectful feeling neutral loss you can take, getting hit by the down air from the Spear, but he closes it out with the sig. He's going to take it off the side, and not too much damage here on the second stock.
Yeah, Wes, axe in hand, looking for that new weapon spawn coming out here. Power Ranger with the sidelight comes forward. I wonder if Power Ranger is just boxing him out with the gauntlets until the spear comes out. But another weapon spawn has been taking quite a bit of time. Okay, Downsig possibly reading an early axe recovery, but I'm not even sure.
I don't know if it would have won that out,
I think axe recovery would have just beat it, so not really sure. Maybe a ground pound coming through. Whatever the case is, West gets the better hand of that trade and ducks right underneath the neutral sig to hit him with the D-Light side air.
A big capitalization right there, and he gets him with the GC neutral light, simplifying it, and does that get the wall touch? That side air just miss hitting the wall.
Yeah, gauntlet side air is straight horizontal. You are not going to rise up the side of a wall like that. He just ends up hitting it against the corner, doesn't get the jumps back. Sidelight, D-Light can't quite hit it, and the neutral sig whiffing means West gets even more damage here in this lead. But it could be evened up. The D-Light recovery got him out of his own recovery, went for the exhausted one. West jumps away from that final D-Light, touches the ground, and the neutral sig almost dodged back into it, but doesn't get hit.
Yeah, West's defense looking very good right now. Gonna get the D-Light Stare, going for, I'm not sure he was looking for recovery there, maybe the early play from the spear recovery, but the pogo, the down air is gonna catch him, bounce him off the wall, send them very far down there, and is not gonna make that back.
All right, we are pretty close in damage here, even though West is literally not damaged. It is like the highest defense you could get on Finn is 4, and if he's on that stance right now, you're still pretty squishy. So Power Ranger just has to get a few clean hits here, but meanwhile, West, as you said, every other stat is powered up pretty hard right here with Finn. Oh, but the silence recoveries, he doesn't get hit by the axe.
Yeah, and only a few hits here and there for Power Ranger, like you were just alluding to with that low defense. He's getting right back to even momentarily. He gets one sidelight, which he's looking for right now. But now to switch up to the sword has looked so much better than the lance in the first game. He was not going to find it, and he went for that like 5 times. But all it takes is one of them to connect, and he finally gets it on the anti-air.
I like the idea of it because it doubles up as the anti-air, but also the anti-sidelights for gauntlets as well. A lot of gauntlets moves and a lot of Wushank's moves in general. Now that I think about it, spear neutral sig, gauntlet neutral sig.
That's very true. They all go
of
airborne.
them really jump right above that neutral sig threat range that Finn has. And we saw it a few times not work, but as you said, around the 5th time, that one connects. And now I'm really starting to see the genius of that counter pick there because it just covers right over West's head. And if he continues to duck a lot of these neutral sigs, which has been doing, he can get some pretty early stocks.
Yeah, I was very curious early on why he kept going for that, but the application, what you just talked about with the fact that it's basically like a short hop coverage of not like the side light and those signatures, it makes so much more sense. And that's going to be buried in Power Ranger's head. Now, I don't think it's going to make him stop doing that nearly as much because Power Ranger kind of just believes everything. Like, if you believe hard enough, it's going to hit. I feel like that's his mentality. And
neutral sig caught the side air from Power Ranger. I'm liking this from West. It's a very creative option to deal with the problem that he was. It was a problem for him. Down airs from Power Ranger means that Power Ranger is probably going to shift to a more grounded game, and I wonder how West is going to deal with that. I say that, and he's just flying through the sky with sidelights, but at the start it looked like that.
Well, at least you're right. We still have to wonder how West is going to deal with that because he just lost his stock, but he's going to get him a deep off stage right there, looking for some coverage, but he does get to the wall. However, he gets caught by the D-Light ground pound. That's going to get the stock.
Yeah, and now West going for that prime weapon starve there, throwing both weapons up, making sure that a weapon comes in as delayed as possible. Yet somehow Power Ranger scared West off the side of the stage. I was like, this is the opposite of what I'm supposed to be casting here, but no, all right. Power Ranger picks up some gauntlets, and West perfectly fine giving up center for a while.
I mean, like, it's almost like that curiosity to kill the cat moment. It's like, what if I do go off stage? What if I do go after you? Oh, that was a bad idea. There's been a lot of questionable moments so far, but I think the capitalization has been the most important part. When somebody does decide to go off stage like that, you have to be able to capitalize perfectly, and Wes has been working his way up. That being said, though, Power Ranger with a small lead right now. He's getting hit by a lot of weapons, but it doesn't really matter that much. He's just getting himself into position, but Power Ranger's still punishing him for it.
Here for Wes, if he can even pick it up. Power Ranger went for the double sidelight, dodges out of the second one. Axe now picked up for Wes. Weapon throw forward. You are right. He has been hitting a lot of those. And I think they're more impactful than we're leading on. Yeah, the damage is really low, but because it hits, Wes does get his weapon back. That time, we saw Power Ranger miss his weapon throw, but a weapon spawn came in his favor and immediately gets to pick up side sig, and Wes goes down to 1 stock.
Yeah, perfect timing from it, too. Power Ranger recognized it. Wes saw it, looking like he was going to try and go cover it. Power Ranger putting out a massive hitbox to getting the punish, but Wes not too far off. Tried to catch him again with the chase, but he just misses out on it.
Ooh, the neutralites coming up from Power Ranger, really starting to punish the ground game coming out from West. And this is what I was looking for Power Ranger, except for that neutral sig. Man, West, so good at the anti-air this set, but he is still down. And being down with this much damage is a pretty huge deal when you're playing as Finn.
Knocked him out the same way the Power Ranger did, too. Weapon spawn perfectly timed, catch up with the Sid, take him out.
Yeah. And that's just a great example of how useful it is to make sure that you know exactly what weapon's showing up in the cycle so that you could get that pickup and catch your opponent off guard if they're not paying attention.
Exactly. Like capitalization on the windows where you get them. It's not many sometimes against them, but the D-Light's going to send them back up. D-Light recovery. Yeah, that's going to take him out. Gets himself up a game here, 2-1. I honestly don't see this not going to Game 5 with the way these two are playing. It's been incredibly close.
For me, it's whether West stays on Finn or not. After that game, number 3, I was really feeling like, okay, I think Power Ranger gets what you're going for here. The neutral sig started hitting a lot less, and so the leads started happening a lot less as well. And then by the end, Power Ranger had fully adapted to a ground game heavy spear. And we've got something out of left field. It's not totally alien to me. But the Finn is no longer here. We've got Volkov coming out for this match point.
Deciding that the Scythe gameplay is going to be, if my combo game wasn't working with Lance, then deciding to go with Scythe, it's probably going to be on Demons, most likely.
I really feel like it's Volkov, Axe, plus Volkov signatures.
True.
But maybe the Scythe has got something to say going into this game for Power Rangers got it at match point, wins the elimination final, and goes into the grand finals to fight up against Kaino once again. Wes fighting for his tournament life here, loses this and he's out. It is going to be the Volkov for sure, locked in here and dipping out of that Dex to get a little bit more force as we go to Demon Island.
Yeah, a majority of what has been going on here with the switch-ups from Wes is that, like you said, the Axe has been great, but what is my secondary answer? I haven't been able to figure that out as they go ahead and get themselves reset there. A few difficulties, but they'll get that right back into it. But the Volkov switch, like you're saying, the signatures, the mix-ups, the movement that he gets off of it, too.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the option, what he's going to be using behind the signatures, kind of floating around him to get away from some Power Rangers pressure, particularly on the gauntlets?
I really can't say in particular what the Volkov is going to do that makes it any different than the character that he was just on. If I had to think about how the Scythe is going to come into play in this matchup, I would imagine he's going to use it sort of like a caster in the sense that he's going to use it for its signatures. Maybe a downlight for a finisher or a neutral light side air, but for the most part, he's going to be picking up that weapon just to throw it away to get the Axe. And then as for the signatures that come from the Axe kit, it's yet to be seen. Yep. I really think that side signature, which we just saw, combo into a gravity cancel neutral light, is a huge play here. Wes, when picking Volkov in the past, likes mixing up the side sig where if you do the light press of it, you get the upward swing.
Yep.
And if you hold it, you fly in the air and you get that downward swipe, which we're already seeing him being used to great success.
He's already gone for 3, and I think the answer basically at this point is that it's all about burst. He wants to be able to get that surprise burst range on Power Ranger, and that is... I mean, it's working somewhat so far. So the key factor is he can do it, continue to do it. Okay.
The down stick for Power Ranger forces Wes all the way up to the top of the stage. And Wes! Okay, so... Little known about Volkov, and these are things I love about both of Volkov's neutral sigs. It's way more aggressively noticeable on Axe, but on Scythe, if you hold it, you get a little bit of steerability, and we saw Wes holding hard left, fading all the way back to catch Power Ranger in that landing and take the stock with the neutral sig.
I'm so glad that he has basically answered the question that I was asking you with the movement. Like, what are you going to do as the movement options? Because it's unique.
Gets it again.
What are you doing? Wes is going crazy. It is only a minute in, and he's destroying his stocks.
And the down air comes through. He almost catches him with the neutral air. And I guess the Scythe has a lot more to say than I thought because those signatures are looking fantastic. And the Nair, side air, Nair tends it back to the stage. He's not finished with them yet. Sidelight comes through, and Power Ranger, well, he might get 3 stocks in another 2 minutes, Ajax. Yeah. This is... Okay, side air comes through. Does he get the edge guard? No. Weapon throw up. Oh, Wes, no.
Oh, my God. Wes just 3-stocked him in one of the quickest 3 stocks we've seen in an official championship bracket.
Same move all 3 times.
So
this starts off as a Power Ranger highlight, and then look at this. Neutral sig drifts all the way back on the charge. Gets him off the right side of the stage. And now we're going to see 2 of the same neutral sig knockouts here. Okay, no, so we're just going to the last one. Look at that. Gravity cancel neutral sig fades back. And you know what that doubles up as? And this is a Volkov specific thing too. Because of the fade back on the neutral sig, when your back hits the wall, you get your jumps back. So even if it didn't succeed, he still wasn't at risk of not having his jumps refreshed. It just so happens that he also won the game.
Well,
yeah, and now Power Ranger, after just being completely mind blown about how that last game went over, locks in the Asuri for game number 5. We're going to have one last little reset here before we get into that final game of this set in the Elimination Final, where I'm wondering, I think at this point, because he locked in the Asuri, that's what he's intending to stick with. I'm just thinking, what's gonna happen with that?
What's the logic behind it? Yeah, I mean, look, this sentence alone, okay, this is something we were saying here today. Volkov versus Asuri, Elimination Finals, Spring Championships. I am loving this. I'm loving the change-ups.
Cool.
I know Foda's happy, wherever Foda happens to be.
Yeah.
But the switch up here to the Asuri, maybe wanting some surprise burst and more movement options with the Katars.
Yeah. Because
you kind of got mixed pretty hard every time you're trying to land, getting caught repeatedly from the side sigs and the axe sigs. Like, he had no answer.
He may just be trying to aggressively respond to how West dominated him in the air game, for sure. And with the Katars here, you don't quite get more different than Gauntlets than bringing out the Katars when it comes to the play style here. And West on the scythe already having some trouble against Power Ranger as the weapon throw comes up, and he's just jumping around that weapon. Switches over to the sword. And now, with the sword in hand, tries to go for the neutral light, and West hits him with that recovery, down air, D-light, ground pound, pickup, axe, nair, goes for the recovery, West. Oh, he jumps forward, and Power Ranger trying to respond really well. Side sigs, whipping both sides of the side air. Is that going to be it for Power Ranger's first stock? Gets the dodge, tries to gravity kill the sidelight, and how? Power Ranger still surviving. Both players now so damaged.
How's there not a stock on? I have questions. I need answers. West almost had a highlight reel with unarmed alone, missed out on the punish, and then Power Ranger just misses out on the punish when he comes to land. West now sending him back off stage.
Oh, no. Power Ranger just can't even make it to the stage. Fast falls down, goes to his second stock.
This is an incredible start to game number 5 already. One of these two has to go fight Kaina, and at least Power Ranger's not jumping into those anymore. He's giving him respect on that, but that means that West now has control of the air. He has dominance in the air game right now.
Oh, weapon throw coming forward. Power Ranger with the sword. Tries the down light, gets the neutral light as West tries to jump over the down light. Trying to babysit at the edge. Ground pound, though. Not the right choice. West dodges through, picks up the scythe, looking for that extra credit, and he can't get it. The side sig. What a call out for Power Ranger to even up game 5.
Yeah, just out of the range for the D-light and capitalizes on the fact that West was trying to hold forward right after that. Very even, and now he's staying grounded a lot more. He's not getting hit by these, but West still keeps doing it.
Yeah,
and
so
Power Ranger's got to respect it.
If it weren't already a ton of options in one move, when it can come from letting go of it right away to get the uppercut, or go for that downward swing in the air, you can also steer it. And we saw in one example, Wes choosing to hold far back so that he doesn't fly forward at all, then land with the neutral light, and the other example, flying forward to reposition. Already showing a lot of creativity with Volkov's signature kit here in Game 5 against Power Ranger. But that downlight, too close. You can't be stacked on it. It is a reaching move, kind of like a blaster sidelight in a sense, and because Power Ranger is in that dead zone, he gets the punish.
Exactly. Power Ranger just playing so well on the ground. He's just letting Wes jump as much as he wants, capitalizing on him with the neutral lights, with the D-light stairs that he's been getting over and over again. A very, very small lead here, Taza, but it looks like he's feeling way more comfortable because he's just letting Wes swing and then getting him afterwards.
Yeah. The down stick from the axe coming out pretty quickly there. You only get 2 swings on miss, unlike the 3 if you get the hit. The scythe now picked up once again. He's playing out the side sticks, and Power Ranger playing around them. Ground pound, dodge out of the way, but the D-light that time, spaced correctly, connects with Power Ranger with both players. Really a strong hit away from losing the second stock, and that neutral light and a weapon throw dive kicks out of the way. Can he make it back? He can. Power Ranger not willing to risk going off stage just yet.
No, yeah, you can't let him get the weapon, and he does. He was trying to weapon starve him. That's why he didn't commit to off stage before, because now the axe comes in. The side air is going to work. The recovery catches him, though, for going off stage, and Power Ranger has a very minimal lead.
Yeah, a minimal lead, but a lead regardless, right? Because Power Ranger was in that situation. He's recovering, yet he comes back and he takes the stock. Wes now trying to get that side stick. Even though he's facing away from the side of the stage, active input means that you can use that to spike him in the opposite direction. Were you able to get that to connect? So that's why he's looking for that there. Weapon throw down, unarmed side air, goes for the unarmed recovery. No, he didn't go for it. Was that unarmed D-light?
Yeah, unarmed D-light into weapon spawn pickup into side air. Yeah,
okay.
No, you saw the same thing. So
not a true combo, but pretty cool. Side stick of the gravity cancel neutral light, though. Love seeing that from Wes.
All right, and now Wes has access to. Okay, well, never mind. He's going to be the scythe, but he still has the weapon starve going. Power Ranger needs something ASAP, and he tries to walk up. Power Ranger gets access to the sword. Dead even game.
Ooh, does it get closer to this for a game 5? What if this goes into the grand final?
Oh!
And West looks like he's about to win. Dodges through, gets the recovery. Power Ranger back from what looked like it was going to be certain death, and that neutral light punishes the side sig that West misses. West not having so much success with the signatures against Power Rangers as Surrey.
Yeah, it's not working nearly as much. The movement options, the ability to dodge around it has been so much better. But he comes in with the sider, and he goes for the side sig, but he catches him on the neutral lights back on the way down. Power Ranger getting hit a whole lot more, and now he's unarmed.
Oh, and the weapon throw comes forward. West with the scythe, looking for the nares. Weapon throw pickup. No, goes for the axe. That was so smart. Doesn't pick up his own weapon so he can continue to starve it. Power Ranger goes for the ground pound, and West fastballs right after him for the down air to seal the deal and win in the elimination file. Win game number 5 in that best of 5 and go on into the grand finals.
I think the best way to put what just happened there is his reaction speed. West was reacting immediately to the opportunities that finally started to become available to him that Power Ranger was never giving to him as he capitalizes on him right there. But Power Ranger stayed grounded for so long, Taza, throughout the entirety of that game. And then he finally started to budge because it was last stock. He's like, oh, I got to make something happen.
It's pretty crazy to me that Power Ranger went off stage unarmed with the ground pound on last stock in Game 5 of a match that decides for grand finals. But you know what? West isn't complaining.
Nope. Not